She hasn't even got out of bed yet, and she's already exhausted thinking about who she has to be for the day. Smart enough, pretty enough, likable enough, spiritual enough. And before her feet even hit the floor, she's already checked her phone, already compared her morning to somebody else's highlight reel, already decided without even looking in the mirror that today she wasn't going to measure up. Maybe that's you. Maybe you can't even remember the last time you got dressed without picking yourself apart. Maybe quote unquote good enough feels like a target you're never going to be able to hit.
Don't you know that all your colors stand out from all the others like a work of art?
Hey ladies, I'm Coach Jamie. Welcome to Uncommon Teen, where real life, real faith, and the real you come together. Before we jump in, quick heads up, early bird pricing for our Uncommon Teen Live Conference coming up this September 17th through the 19th ends on July 18th. So if you've been on the fence about coming, now is the time to grab your ticket before prices go up. All right, let's get into today's topic. Today, we're talking about something almost every single girl listening to this has felt: body image and the pressure to be perfect. Not just about how you look, but about this constant, exhausting pressure to be everything to everybody all the time. And no matter what you do, it still doesn't feel like it's enough. But here's the thing I want you to hear before we get started. Your body was never the problem. The pressure you've been carrying, the lies you've been believing, those are what we're going to unpack today. And now I want to start by being vulnerable with you, because before I was Coach Jamie, I was a teenage girl who struggled with this exact thing. When I was in middle school, I watched a movie about a girl who overexercised and starved herself just to get her body, quote unquote, perfect. Now, I loved food too much to ever go to that extreme, but here's what's crazy. That movie was trying to warn me about the dangers of trying to gain the perfect body. But since I already believed I was not enough, I didn't hear the warnings. I started doing 1,000 squats a day, 500 crunches every single day. Not because I love to work out, but because I thought if I just worked hard enough, I could finally like what I saw in the mirror. The truth was, it only made me hate what I saw even more. No matter how hard I tried, I could never reach perfection. And it didn't stop with the mirror. Every time I went anywhere, I was constantly comparing myself to every single girl there. How do I measure up to her? And in my head, I always fell short. I became so insecure that when I would walk in a room and people were laughing about something, my first thought wasn't, they're probably laughing about something that was funny. It was about, they're probably laughing at me. Here's something that took me way too long to learn. God never calls us to perfection. Ladies, he never expected me to be perfect, and he doesn't expect you to be perfect either. He just invites you to give him your best. That's what excellence actually looks like. So how do you know if you're struggling with perfectionism? What does it actually look like on a day-to-day basis? It's, like me, comparing the way you look to every girl around you. It's believing you need the perfect body size, the perfect skin, the perfect hair, the perfect makeup, the perfect outfit before you can feel good about yourself. It's chasing body ideals that don't exist in real life. It's looking in the mirror and immediately finding something to criticize. It's spending way more time than you'd like to admit scrolling and looking at images of other girls, wishing you had what they do. Sound familiar? I told you, I've been there. So why does this even matter? Why is perfectionism such a problem? Because perfectionism is suffocating. It wears away your peace and it robs you of joy. And here's the irony of it all. Chasing perfection, instead of it helping you become the best version of you, it keeps you from becoming your best version, because nothing will ever measure up to this image that doesn't actually exist. It's a lonely place to live. And social media makes it worse. It tells us that everyone else has it all together. They're prettier, they're skinnier, they're more put together, and there's no way that we could ever measure up. However, we're not seeing their behind the scenes. We're not seeing their real life, only their highlight reel. And that leads to anxiety and frustration. And not only that, perfectionism in and of itself can show up as anger, depression, fear, chronic stress, and it can even affect your body. Headaches, migraines, trouble sleeping, stomach issues. Ladies, if that's you, you are not alone, and you don't have to carry this by yourself. God never designed you to live up to this expectation of perfection. He wants you to be free from all of that, not trapped in it. He wants you to walk in the confidence in who He created you to be. And here's the truth about you and your value. Your value was never based off of what you have or have not done. It is based on what Jesus already did for you on the cross. You cannot work for it, earn it, or deserve it. You can only receive it freely. And once you receive that, here's what starts to shift. You stop chasing perfection and you start walking in truth. Psalm 139:14 says, I praise you, Lord, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Not flawed, not falling short, wonderfully made by God who made you on purpose exactly the way you are. And Galatians 5:1 tells us, it is for freedom that Christ has made us free. Ladies, that includes freedom from the pressure to be perfect. You were never meant to carry that weight. Jesus already carried it for you. So when the lies tell you that you have to earn it, prove it, perfect it, truth says you were already made wonderfully and you're already made free. So here's my challenge for you this week. I want you to do two things. First, every time you catch yourself comparing yourself to somebody else or picking yourself apart in the mirror, I want you to pause and say this out loud. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Not as a nice phrase, but as a truth. And continue to tell yourself that until you do start to believe it. The second thing is, the next time you start scrolling and you feel that comparison creeping in, close the app, turn on some praise music, and thank God for His goodness. You don't have to quit social media for good. Just step away when you notice that it's stealing your peace and your joy. Ladies, your body was never the problem. The lies you believed about it were. And today you get to start believing the truth of what God has said about you. Before I let you go, two quick things. First, our known conference, early bird pricing, ends on the 18th. If you've been thinking about coming, now's the time to grab your tickets before the price goes up. And second, if today's conversation resonated with you, come check out the SOAR Collective. Go to uncommonteen.com, click on that Join the Collective tab. We would love to have you in the community. All right, ladies, I love to end with this declaration. And when I do, I encourage you, repeat it after me, but most importantly, believe it with all your heart because it is the truth of what God says about you. I am beautiful. I am valuable. My beauty and my value, they don't change. Even if someone fails to see how incredible God made me. All right, ladies, until next time, this is Coach Jamie reminding you to stay uncommon.
Don't you know that all your colors stand out from all the